Thanks for tuning in to the Reale Deal Show, brought to you by eBodyboarding.com and Tribe Boards. Hey everyone, Jay Reale back at you with the Reale Deal Show. And with me, my lovely wife,
hi,
Vicki Reale.
And I love doing this.
She's very reluctant to be on my podcast, so I had to pull a trump card today, which is the fact that today happens to be my birthday, February 12th, 2023. And I used that as ammunition to get her to be on
anything
this
for
week's
you
podcast.
want, honey,
Yeah.
on your birthday. Yeah. Almost anything.
Sure, almost anything, yeah. This is a family show.
What? You're going to dirty mine.
All right. Let's get out of the gutter for a moment. All right. So this week, we just launched our new vlog, which is called Keepin' It Real. And what is Keepin' It Real, Vicki?
It's basically just a look into our travels and what we do on our surf trip, bodyboard trips. And we went with bodyboarding holidays to Costa Rica and El Salvador. So this one's our Costa Rica trip. So
yes. So, last year we did quite a bit of traveling. I did a couple of vlogs. One was my Maldives trip, and I did another one for the Canary Islands. But we wanted to capture the family travels. So
yeah, we've had some feedback of people wanting to know what we did and, show us, wanting us to show them. So we thought, okay, let's put together a couple of little clips.
And, we don't want to get too deep into the Keeping It Real thing, but this is kind of an experimental year for us. Our daughter is in college over in Hawaii, but our son is a 9th grader, and we pulled him out of public school this year because we knew we were going to be traveling a lot, and the public school doesn't take too kindly to lots of absences.
Yeah.
They have a limit to how many absences they can have, and family trips are not really considered an excused absence, right?
So yeah, and we've never been a proponent of homeschooling, but we feel like this is an opportunity for Kieran to explore the world, see the world, experience different cultures, and to have him come with us. And he's diligent enough, we hope, to get all his work done on the trips. And when he's home, he gets to go to school. So it's kind of a good mix of travels and schooling and going to school and not going to school. So we'll see how it goes. I
mentioned we pulled him out of school. That was half true. We pulled him out of public school, or I should say regular traditional public school. And he's doing this basically, it's like online school when we're traveling and in person for 3 to 4 hours a day when he's here with some other kids. Hybrid schooling, yeah. So, it's an experiment. We'll see how it goes. It's going to work, hopefully, with our travels a lot better for that reason. Anyway, okay, back to the Reale Deal Show. So this week's episode, a lot of our travels, we post clips here and there, and people ask us about health and fitness. I just turned 59 today. Vicky's younger than me. I'll just leave it at that. But we're both very active people, and so people are kind of curious, what it is we do to enable us to surf 4, 5, sometimes 6 hours a day when we're on these trips, and just do what we do every day here in California. So I thought we could kind of walk through our health and fitness regime, if you will, here in California. I think it's a valid topic. A lot of our audience is older. They're older bodyboarders, or they're getting back into the sport, the board again.
Yeah, right? And not only that, what's interesting is on our trip to Costa Rica and El Salvador, when we went with Bodyboard Holidays, the guests were all pretty much younger than us.
For the most part, couple older.
There were some older ones. But, we would surf a couple of times a day. Sometimes Jay would be out 3 days, and they're like...
3 times.
3 times a day, And they'd be like, how do you do it? We're tired. We surfed this morning. We can't go out, I was surprised to hear that, it was a struggle for some to put in a double session.
Right, yeah. So, we're going to walk you through what we do to stay active and fit. So let's start with you. let's talk about, like, let's just go through an average day. Like, what time do you wake up? What's the first thing you're eating or drinking?
Well, I'm not as regimented as Jay, but I do have to do something every day. And it could be as little as going for a hike with my girlfriends, or, you know, doing a YouTube video, or, you know, in the wintertime, Jay will force me to go.
Force her.
Encourage me to go bodyboarding or surfing with him, and I never regret it, but you know, I'm not as tough as you. And
that was tough.
When it's cold, anyway, when it's cold, it's really difficult for me. But you know what, I was just saying to Jay the other day that it's annoying how much he motivates me.
Okay, so let's get back to brass tacks here, because
okay.
I'm annoying,
no.
I'm forcing, I'm
no,
saying a lot of negative here, but
no.
But let's talk about your daily
your
daily schedule. So what time do you get up?
I would say most days I'm up by the latest 6, and you know, I have my cup of tea and get the body flowing and to wake up, and then I'm usually 6:37. I've got to get started because, you know, we've got a day job, so we have to fit it in before we get to work. And so yeah, surfing, running, hiking, YouTube video.
Okay, so YouTube video.
Yeah.
What YouTube video are
Depends,
we talking about?
yeah.
This is an exercise video of some kind. So you don't have a set schedule. It's not like I'm going to run on Monday, I'm going to do a yoga video on Tuesday, nothing like that. It's like whatever you feel like on the day.
Because it has to do with my schedule, how busy I am that day. It has to do with the weather. It has to do with the waves.
Okay.
You know, priorities. So, you know, if I did a long run on Sunday, then maybe Monday, if the waves aren't good, I might do a YouTube upper body abs, you know, because I did my legs yesterday.
Okay.
If the waves are good, I'll just go for a boogie or a surf.
Okay. And upper body abs, for how long would a video would you do?
The shortest, maybe you do. Maybe the shortest 45 minutes. I like to do an hour, but, you know, I got to get to work too, so sometimes it's hard to
So you're saying your exercise is, whatever it may be, is minimum of 45 minutes a day?
Minimum, yeah.
And there's some days you skip, like you got something going on, and whatever, and you'll skip. But I would say you're doing 5 to 6 days a week of some kind of exercise. It might even be a hike or a run. Mm-hmm. It's not always a run. You could just be hiking, because we live in an area there's a lot of hills and trails around us, which is great. Yeah. And there's some steep hills, so you can get a good workout hiking too, right?
Yes.
Obviously, we're in Southern California. The weather's pretty optimal for outdoor workouts. I know a lot of people live in places where it might snow or rain or it's freezing, but of course you can do a YouTube workout in your house, you know, whatever kind of exercise, indoors or even at a gym. But keep going. So let's talk about what you'd have to eat after you finish your workout. Yeah. Let's say 8 o'clock.
9 o'clock,
9 o'clock
depending
in
on
the
the
morning,
day,
after we get Kieran off to school when we're at home. Then what? What are you eating?
I try and do high protein, low carbs, but again, it depends on how big of a workout I did. If I am doing a lot of weights, I try and do like a protein shake, and the protein shake is where I put all the goodness in that I might not get throughout the day. I throw spinach in there and chia seeds and collagen and, you know, strawberries, blueberries, ginger, all kinds of good stuff. Wow. And I feel like that's a good start to my day, to get that in my system and know that I've got my greens and my protein, and then I can skimp a little or cheat a little during the day. So, you know,
what's
to me,
a cheat?
I don't know, your brownies that you make.
Wait till we get to my diet.
Yeah, or when he's having lunch, I'll be like, ooh, potato chips. Okay, I'll have a couple of those. Okay,
but sometimes you'll have not just a protein shake, you'll make some kind of egg thing.
Oh, yeah, I love brekkie, so I'll make huevos rancheros, and it's kind of a different huevos rancheros where I'll have tortillas and beans and eggs, but I'll saute spinach and put that in layers with some salsa verde, and yeah, I like to have a big breakfast and I don't really eat lunch much, so then I'll wait for dinner, so I'm having 2 good meals a day. And you know, I don't really care about, dieting or anything like that. I feel like if you are consistently eating healthy and exercising and moving every day and, somewhat eating healthy, but I'll have a burger and your brownies and, sorry, we're getting distracted.
Okay. Brownies, my brownies.
We're in our backyard.
This is our bunny
and our
rabbit,
rabbits running
Brandy.
around.
Oh, there she goes.
She's trying to come. Anyway, so yeah, that's my brekkie.
Okay, but sometimes you bring food to the office.
Yeah, I do,
What's
because
up
by
with that?
3 o'clock, sometimes I'm like frothing for something like a pick-me-up.
Okay, and you're drinking water through the day.
Trying to drink lots of water. It's so hard, especially when it's cold like this.
You don't
and then
really...
I'll have a green tea at work.
Okay.
But I have almonds and cashews at work.
Little snack, little nibble here and there just to keep the hunger at bay.
Yeah, I don't do potato chips or those kind of naughty snacks.
Yeah,
that
junky.
Are yummy snacks, but except when you're eating them for lunch.
Okay. So then dinner. We get home for dinner.
Yeah, depends on if you're cooking or I'm cooking. It could be burritos, pizza, it could be burgers.
Okay. So you've kind of let the reins out a little bit for dinner.
I think
you're not as strict
don't you
with
reckon?
the dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and occasionally you'll have a glass of wine or a beer.
Yep, one
or
probably.
Maybe when you're with your friends on the weekend,
maybe a little
margarita
more
or something. Right. Okay. Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
so and you're liking that. I by the way, just a sidebar here. I saw this quick clip on social media just this morning, I think, where this lady was talking about do not eat a diet to get skinny. Eat food to be strong.
Yeah.
To fuel your muscles. Don't make your goal being skinny. Make your goal being strong so you can keep moving and doing the active things.
Yep.
So
totally.
Because if you're targeting skinny, you're going to have less energy. And then you're going to struggle to do the things you like to do, I think.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good advice.
Yeah, I agree. And I would love to eat. One of my favorite things to do is eat. So I'm going to live my life. I'm going to not just, no carbs and, no pizza or no potato chips. You got to enjoy yourself.
But you have to keep moving. You have to keep doing, like you said, you're doing... exercise 45 minutes to an hour or more. On the weekends, I know you'll go running or hiking with your friends, sometimes for a couple hours.
Yeah. Yeah, and I exercise to eat because I love eating.
Yeah.
So,
I work out to eat. Okay. So my situation is very different from Vicki's. Okay. So I'm very disciplined. I'm regimented. I'm a big fan of a guy named David Goggins. If you look him up on Instagram, at David Goggins, he's a badass. This guy was a Navy SEAL. He was an Army Ranger. He's an ultramarathoner, triathlete. He's done more stuff than most people could even think about. He holds the world record for pull-ups. Did like 4,500 pull-ups. I don't know in how much time, but consecutively. He has some really good motivational stuff. But one of the things that he talks about all the time, and I've known this even since before I found David Goggins, is my thing is to make myself uncomfortable at least once every day.
Where I'm like, heck no.
It's to me, like, putting some sort of discomfort on yourself every day makes you appreciate being comfortable. But it's also like a mental thing. You overcome an obstacle and it sort of calluses your body and your brain to be stronger in the long run if you do it repeatedly. So my daily schedule is this. I'm up at 4:30, 7 days a week. I don't even use an alarm. I've never used an alarm. My body just wakes up. Actually, it usually wakes up at like 3, and I just kind of toss and turn. And I finally get out of bed at 4:30.
I'm lucky I never hear him.
Not a great sleeper, I'll admit that. And then I'll go downstairs. I'll have a bowl of cereal with some sliced banana in it, really small, like half a cup of cereal, just enough to get the metabolism going. I'm out the door at 5 o'clock for a run or in the garage on my stationary bike. I alternate. So I run one day, bike the next, run, bike. I don't take any days off. I used to take Mondays off. I just didn't feel good when I took a day off.
Yeah, and I don't think I could live with him if he doesn't exercise.
So I do that. I run. The run is 6 miles for me, give or take a quarter mile, depending on the route that I take. It's pretty much all in the dark in the winter and very cold, usually by California standards. It's usually around the low 40s when I walk out the door. And the sun is just coming up when I get back at 6:30-ish. So 6:30, I'll go do some quick stretches first thing. Then I go upstairs. I do some pull-ups and push-ups. I actually do 3 sets of 11 pull-ups.
Why 11?
Because it's more than 10.
No.
If you've ever seen This Is Spinal Tap, right? The guy turns, he has an amp that goes to 11. And the guy says, well, hold on, amps go to 10. Why does yours go to 11? And the guy just says, well, because 11's more than 10, isn't it? Right? So it's that mental thing. Like, I should feel like I'm done at 10, but I'll do one more. So I do 33 pull-ups and I do 75 push-ups, 3 sets of 25. They're incline push-ups, so they're not all the way down. And part of that reason I do that is I have arthritis in my big toe from many years of running. I can't bend it all the way. So if I do like a traditional push-up all the way down, I can't bend my toe all the way. So I do an incline push-up, not as strenuous as a traditional push-up. But I feel like for surfing in particular and drop knee when I'm pushing up, that all helps me. It helps me feel stronger for the pop-up. So I will do that. I'll then go surfing. I leave the house at 7:30, go to the beach. I surf from 8 to 9:30-ish, come home.
Pretty exact, because if I sidetrack him, he's like
7 days a week.
What? I'm late.
I know. I'm hopelessly OCD with the schedule. So I surf pretty much 300 days a year, unless it's just awful or flat or onshore or raining and onshore. I'll surf in the rain, but the wind and no surf would be the only things that really would keep me out of the water here. So, and then I just feel great. I feel great. I've done my workout. I got my surf in. Now I'm ready for the day. So I come home at 10 o'clock. And then I eat lunch. I eat an early lunch. It's almost always a turkey sandwich with, some like avocado and cucumber and carrot on it. And then I'll go to work around 11. And then, with the lunch, I'm drinking a little mini Coke because I have an addiction to sugar that I can't shake. And I'll have some potato chips, just a little pile of potato chips and like a cookie. I gotta have a cookie or two after lunch and dinner.
Gotta have that sweet.
Yeah, I'm addicted. So then I go to work. I'll have a thing of cashews in my drawer sometimes, and I'll eat those if I'm feeling particularly hungry, just like a little handful. And sometimes if I start getting tired around 2-3, a Red Bull might come out. Then home and we have dinner, and that, as she said, can consist of doesn't matter to me, man. I'll eat a cheeseburger, fries, pizza. Sometimes we have pasta or, stir-fried veggies or whatever. So, but I have very different tastes in food than Vicki. She's really into she likes sushi and she likes like vegetarian kind of stuff, and I don't eat that stuff. I'm a very meat and potatoes. Kind of have the palate of a 12-year-old, I think.
We figured it out, though, don't we?
Yeah, but it works for me. I feel like I have plenty of energy, and for what I do, that's it just works for me. One thing I didn't mention is after the run in the morning, I'll have like half a glass of chocolate milk. Chocolate milk's a really good recovery drink. Look it up, guys. Google it. It has carbohydrates, electrolytes, protein, glycogen. It has everything that a lot of really expensive recovery drinks have, and it's cheap. I just get like a thing of Nesquik and some milk and mix it. And
I've been trying to convince him to do more of a protein chocolate milk, but
yeah, Nah.
You love that Nesquik,
I'm
don't
just,
you?
yeah, you know, I'll admit it. I was raised on processed food, and I still like some processed foods. But I don't really snack. I just eat that little cup of half a cup of cereal, then my lunch, and then dinner. You know, and I'm not eating snacks in between or after those meals. So, and sometimes I get hungry, but it's just all about the discipline for me. So, you know, for me, that regime has worked for many years. I've been, you know, I was a pro bodyboarder in the 80s and 90s, and I still surf every day. I'm 59, and I hope to keep doing it well into my 60s, maybe 70s if I'm lucky. And so far, so good, knock on wood.
Yeah,
you know?
and one thing we didn't mention is vitamins. I take vitamins, Jay doesn't.
I take nothing.
Yeah.
I'm a believer that if you eat normal food, you're going to get all the nutrition you need from those foods. Vicki doesn't, you can see by the look on her face, she's not down with that. Is
Well,
that right?
yeah, you know, I think I'm missing things certain days, and I don't take them daily. Depends. If I don't have my spinach smoothie with all that goodness in it, maybe I'll feel like, I didn't get many vitamins today, so I'll pop a woman's multivitamin, you know, and sometimes if I'm really sore, I'll do turmeric or, you know, so
she's
I
not
add
drinking
it.
the little cans of Coke. I
Yeah,
drink 2 a day.
and I'm not drinking Nesquik, so.
And she's not drinking Nesquik.
But yeah, he's got a lot of energy, so it's working for you, Jay.
Yeah. So, you know, but I will admit, you know, sometimes I do hit that wall around 2 in the afternoon because I've been up since 4:30, and I do get tired some days. It just depends on the day. And that's probably because of the sugar. I'm drinking a Coke and eating a cookie
sugar
or
high,
a brownie
sugar low,
after
yeah.
lunch. Yeah. But I push through,
Yeah.
through it. And I'm like you, I love to eat. I love the foods that I eat, even though sometimes when we're choosing where are we going to go eat, she wants to go, you know, to like eat maybe pokey. I would never eat like uncooked fish or anything like that. So pokey, sushi, off the table for me, but she loves it. So sometimes we'll have to find like a food court that has all of that stuff, and I can go get a sub or something like that, you know.
But you know what's funny is Jay keeps me young. Yeah, you know, I was joking earlier that it's annoying how much you motivate me, but it was meant as a compliment because, you know, Jay's up and on it and regimented, and I'm like, you know. But, you know, he's 9+ years older than me, but he's motivating me daily, and,
well, thanks.
you know, so, yeah.
It's, you know, to me, the discipline is really important to keep myself from becoming a couch potato. There's a lot of guys my age that have just given up. They come in sometimes and they're like, I'm too old for that, man. Oh, you know, and they're complaining about this hurts and that hurts. And I'm just thinking to myself, if I stop doing what I'm doing, that's going to be me.
Yeah.
Everything's going to like lock up. You know, it's like use it or lose it. So I feel like I can't stop. Now it's an obsession almost. And my running has slowed for sure. I run slower. I don't have the same lung capacity I did as a younger man, but
you're moving.
I just go within my limits
moving.
as much as I can. I don't do anything like crazy in terms of running. I'm not sprinting. I'm just doing like moderate exercise. So I think, you know, my advice to people who want to stay active into their later years, at least from my perspective as a guy on the cusp of 60, is just keep moving. And doesn't have to be hard exercise, just moderate. It could just be walking, you know, go walk a mile every day, and it'll hurt. If you are coming from couch or 0 to this, it's going to hurt for a couple weeks. You're going to be sore.
And you know what else?
You got to push through that, and then the soreness will disappear.
You know what else is, I don't have time to do that. You can find time. That's a hurdle that many people use, or an excuse that many people use.
Yeah.
But if you go to work at 6, you can get up at 5. It's gonna be
Yes.
hard, but you get over that hump, you get used to it, and the days that I don't feel like working out and I do, it's like, oh, I feel so much better, and I feel like I eat healthier than if I exercise. If I skip a day of exercising, I'm like, I might as well have that cake. I eat worse if I don't exercise. If I exercise, I eat better. It's weird
it's
how
like
that.
you're doing a cheat day.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna exercise,
I guess.
I'm gonna eat like crap.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
But find time. You gotta find time.
And you know, for me, part of the reason the 4:30 a.m. thing started for me was years ago when the kids were little. And we had to like get them up and make their breakfast and make their lunch and take them to school. That was eating up my morning. So I was like, I can't surf and work out and do all that stuff for the kids unless I get up before everyone else is awake. Because the beauty of doing the early morning workout is nothing can derail you. If you get up early and you get it done.
It's true.
Because if you say, oh, I'll work out this afternoon, something might come up.
Yeah.
Oh, the kids need me to drive them to their practice or their school, something going on in school. Oh, Vicki needs me to do, and then your workout's gone.
Yeah. Or you check your email and you're like, oh, crap, this is happening at work, or, I better take care of this now, and whoop, there goes your workout.
It's gone.
Yep.
So you wake up, get it done before anyone's awake. I know not everyone is a morning person.
Yeah.
I definitely am, but you can turn yourself into one if you just make it a habit. You have to be committed to making it a habit, and making it a habit is repeating it every day until it's like your body just feels like it has to do that workout or eat that specific healthy food, or else you don't feel good.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
We just don't feel good unless we're doing what it is that keeps us active.
Yeah, and I used to be an afternoon workout person, but that would get derailed. You get busy at work. So that's another thing about doing it in the morning is you get it out of the way.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's kind of our take on staying active into your later years.
Yep.
Hopefully
moving.
that helps some of you. Just make a daily plan to do even something mellow. Like I said, even just going for a walk. That's how you start. And you can keep bodyboarding into your later years. Anything else, Vicki, to throw in here?
Let's go get a beer.
Get a
You
beer
can still have a beer every now and then.
Doritos. Yeah, I mean, I'll have a drink on the weekends once in a while in the middle of the week, but it's like one drink and done. So for me, and
moderation.
yeah,
that's
the whole everything in moderation is always good, but in terms of activity, you just have to keep moving. You can't become sedentary. You have to do something every day.
Yep.
So that'll do it for this episode of the Reale Deal Show. Please put comments down below and ask questions. If you have any questions about what Vicki and I have talked about in this show,
let us know what you do.
feel free.
Love to hear it.
Yeah, and we'll put links in the description to our Keepin' It Real show, so you can click on that and watch. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for joining me.
You're welcome. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you. On behalf of Vicki Reale and myself, Jay Reale, thanks for watching the Reale Deal Show. And folks, we will see you in the surf.
Keep it real.
Keeping it real. Over now.